You actually aren't in the business of remodeling. You're not in the business of roofing or in the business of siding, window replacement. You're actually a marketer of those services. Hey, and welcome back to Builder Funnel TV. In this episode, I want to talk about the biggest mistake that I see residential contractors making. My guess is that for a lot of you, you got into the business because you love the craft, right? You're really good at remodeling. You're really good at your trade, whatever it is that you do. Or maybe you got into the business because your family was in it, right? And so you kind of got sucked into that world, and then you started to learn and you kind of took over. And so now you find yourself as a business owner instead of, a tradesperson or somebody with a special skill. And so, the first inclination is just to say, hey, I'm going to get really good at this thing, the craft. But then you tend to focus on, quality, and you start thinking about, your competition, let's say. A lot of times I think we get stuck in this mindset of, well, gosh, my quality is just super, super high. But then you look at your competitors and they're bigger, they have more employees, they have bigger office, they have a showroom, whatever it is, and you're looking at them and you're going, well, gosh, they're not actually doing better work. I feel like my quality is a lot higher. But that doesn't actually matter, because a lot of times it's the perception. And so for that competitor, their customers perceive them to be high quality. Or maybe that wasn't the whole factor, right? Maybe price was a factor. Maybe it just was because they happened to connect with that company, And so I find myself thinking about that because I remember early on in my journey where I was getting into marketing, and I would oftentimes look at some of these other companies. I go, well, gosh, they're not that much better, right? And I think that happens to a lot of us. Like, oh, I'm really good at this thing. Like, why isn't my business growing, right? I'm so good at this craft, or like, I'm so good with people. My customer service is amazing. My process is amazing. But the problem with all of those things is that people just don't know about you, right? And so that actually leads me to the biggest mistake, which is you actually aren't in the business of remodeling. You're not in the business of roofing or in the business of siding, window replacement. You're actually a marketer of those services. And if you start making that mind shift to saying, yes, this is what I do, and this is, what I do for my clients, that's the service I provide. But if you don't actually put a heavy emphasis on marketing those services, you'll never grow. You'll never get to be that size of that competitor that you kind of look at with envy or jealousy or just questioning. You're going, wow, like, how did they get so big? Like, they have a bunch of bad reviews, or they deliver a poor quality product, or, any of those things. A lot of that is head trash. Some of it may be true, but the only reason that they're bigger is because they marketed. They did a better job of getting more exposure. They got in front of more of your ideal customers. And so if you start repositioning in your mind how you think about your business, and instead of thinking of yourself as a kitchen remodeler, but a marketer of kitchen remodeling, you're going to grow your business in a really, really big way. So my takeaway for you is to stop looking at your business as your own craft, and stop looking at your competitors with envy and saying, oh, well, I should have that business, or I should, be as big as them, and start looking at yourself as a marketer. And if you're wondering kind of, hey, where do I start with this? We have another video on this channel where we talk all about how to build a really effective marketing plan. So go check that out. But hopefully this helped you kind of reframe how you think about your business. It's a kind of a different concept. It's pretty simple to understand, but once it clicks and it sets in, you're going, gosh, marketing and sales, that's the lifeblood of my business. That's how I'm going to get to where I want to go. And so when you make that shift, good things will start to happen for you. All right, guys, we'll see you next time here on Builder Funnel TV.